Hi, I'm Ian Jeffery. My project partner Jeffrey Wong and I have created this proposal for our final project topic for Ryerson class CEID100. The topic we've chosen is the digital divide. The classic definition of the digital divide is the separation of those who can access the internet and those who can't. This is typically looked at from a macro global perspective with countries and regions that don't have the necessary infrastructure to access the internet. This, however, is quite a binary view of the digital divide, and as we'll discuss, the problem is much more complex and exists within first world countries and here at home in Canada. So with that said, our proposal is to research and present the divides that exist in North America specifically, the implications of these divides, and potential solutions to the problem. So jumping back to our definition, what we want to focus on is the complex relationships that make up the divide. It's illustrated really well here by Martin Hilbert. Each subject group is separated by their attributes. This in turn affects how they can connect and to which types of technology. For example, individuals who live in urban centers have better access to the internet than those who live rurally. For comparison, you could also say an organization that is corporately owned would have better adoption of expensive data storage than a small business. For the purposes of this project, however, we're just going to be focusing on individuals. Digital divides and differences exist across many social groups, and there have been documented differences between wage groups, education levels, geographic location, language, and race, just to name a few. There are some particularly important implications of these divides. One is social capital. We live more of our lives online now more than ever, and social media is often how we connect to one another. For people that don't have that same access and digital tools, this can be extremely alienating. The next point, education, is a big one. Education resources and tools are flourishing online with exciting new resources being created every day. While this creates a lot of opportunity for education, it also has the potential to leave some learners at a disadvantage if they don't have the same access to these tools. This is an issue that is especially topical now with socially distanced learning taking place around the world. Finally, there's the digital economy. According to the 2018 census by StatsCan, almost 80% of the high earners use internet at work, but only 50% of the lowest earners access the internet at their workplace. Different levels of digital literacy are more important than ever in keeping up with the digital economy and finding work. For those without sufficient access, building those skills can be close to impossible.
In regards to the potential solutions to the digital divide, some of the material that will be covered in this section of the final project will consist of three major things. Together, we will explore past and current nonprofit fundraisers, charities, and other benefiting projects that are impacting the technological landscape in areas and communities that are less fortunate. Another potential solution that will be investigated is the change in domestic regulatory and legislative laws that could possibly bridge the divide. In a recent article that we found, the Senate Commerce Committee held a hearing called the State of Broadband Amid the COVID Pandemic. The committee's objective was to share their thoughts and ideas on how to deploy more broadband to the U.S. Examples like these are going to be further investigated as we progress in the project. Lastly, we will demonstrate examples of how someone like the target audience can help out as well. As most high schoolers have access to technology and internet, one method is to spread awareness of the issue through social media.
The digital divide in North America is so important because it exists along many social groups that are already disadvantaged, whether by income, education, location, or race. We'll be focusing on these attributes because the divide threatens their already difficult path to social mobility. It's also important to educate our target audience. They've grown up with social media and the internet at their fingertips and may not realize their own digital privilege or how they fit into the divide. We're also trying to raise awareness of this issue. If people have a better understanding of the divide and the implications, they're more likely to make a difference.
Together, Ian and I decided that our medium of choice for the final project will be a shareable online presentation. We also decided to present it on Prezi. However, we chose to present our content and research through an online presentation because an online presentation was the most compatible with our proposed topic, as we felt that the other mediums are not as strong in presenting our material and would also require more time and resources. Also, a lot of the other mediums provided, such as Pinterest and Snapguide, heavily rely on the use of graphics and images, and we thought that this aspect might stray away from the focus of our topic. Other reasons as to why we chose a shareable online presentation as a medium of choice is that it is easier to convey our message to the target audience. As with the target audience, our mission is to spread this ongoing issue to high schoolers, therefore being a great digital tool. For instance, since presentations are commonly used by high school teachers, this project can act as another great digital tool in the classroom environment. Lastly, In our opinion, we felt the use of data charts and infographics are more easier to visualize and explain on a shareable online presentation. That's all, and as always, thank you for listening to our presentation.